Underbone 150 races for the year. Lights are on. We're away. Good start there from the front row of the grid. They all jumped off the line well. Few of them trying to utilise the slipstream on the run down into the first corner. I think Fahmi Bassim's been swamped by a couple of riders. He's managed to get back up into, well, I think it was fourth, then almost third as they make their way out of turn one. Start the run up towards turn three now, all hugging the left-hand side of the circuit as we go through the kink. But it's our poleman, Charles Chazras, that leads on board the 61 bike.
Yeah, my goodness, he really converted that pole position, getting away well and gapping the field. And I'll tell you who else did really well from several rows backwards. Good bit of Krishna, number 23, just going round turn three there in 5th place.
Yeah, he started 13th, so he has charged forward on this first lap. Someone's been dropped off the back on that first lap. I think that may have been one of the... oh no, someone's actually had a mechanical failure, Barry, and pulled off on the inside on the grass. So that's unfortunately an early end for that rider. As we make our way through turn four now.
A couple of riders being dropped there. And Dimas Juliet Moko, who again started some way back on the grid. Dimas, 18th. He's up into 2nd.
Well, when they put up there was an onboard camera with Cheryl Shazi, I thought to myself, I hope it's pointing backwards, because at the moment he's starting to make a little bit of a break over the rest of the field.
Yeah, that was
you can see there, that's an unheard of break early on in an underbone race.
Yeah, that was Adib Arshad, the unfortunate breakdown there. And I'm a little bit surprised that Shadrat wasn't pulled in on that long straight. He's done really well.
Is that Chris Preston that's up now into 2nd position, or was up into 2nd position on board bike number 23?
Yeah.
He's just been slipstream and has dropped, is that 1, 2, 3, 4 positions as they make their way down into turn 12, the final corner. At this 4.5 kilometre Chang International Circuit, 12 corners, 4.5 kilometres. About 24 overtaking opportunities for the Underbone 150 riders. Husni Zonal has made his way up into a 3rd place on board bike number 143 as well.
Yeah, he's running with Fahmi Bassam and Dimas Juliet Moko up there as well. Makes you wonder sometimes why we go through that whole qualifying process.
Just pull a number out of the hat, and then that's where you start on the grid. Oh, up the inside, that's Fahmi Bassam, is it? On board the bright yellow machine.
That's Dimas Julie. Fahmi is up there. I think he's in the lead now.
Yeah, out there he is on the 222 machine. Oh, there's a bit of jockeying about, a bit of elbow rubbing as they make their way up the straight, and our early leader, Cheryl Sidras, has been swamped by the field now. You can see them 4 and 5 abreast as we come down into turn 3.
This is the spectacle that has people tuning in from all over planet Earth.
Why wouldn't you want to take any... It's like watching a Moto 3 race, but on far more financially accessible equipment.
Yeah, and a lot of us started with bikes in this way. Just take a little bike, strip everything off it that you don't need. Oh, but there is...
That's the future
Cheryl's teammate.
Yeah, that's Ahmed
Dawisi.
So an early end for him.
So 2 mechanicals so far.
I think that's the 143 machine back into the lead now. That's Husni Zonal.
Quickest yesterday, so you know he's got good pace. Got Afif Ran, number 50, in the middle of the pack there.
The one thing that we know is you get into the lead early on in the race, it's not going to last too long because you'll be swamped pretty much as you come out of the next corner.
Yeah, we're on board now with Charles Chazras, who is in the middle of that pack, so it's a good place to have the camera.
Yeah, the onboard camera is a lot more interesting than what it was now when he was a couple of bike lengths ahead on that first lap.
Exactly, yeah, he's now probably not even in the top 10.
Aditya Fuzzi went to the lead on board the 143 machine on the way into the corner and promptly lost it on the way out.
Looks like our defending champion, the number 222, where's he gone?
He was in the lead as they came out of that corner. And now he's back to about 7th or 8th. He's actually wide.
He is, yeah.
He's very wide going into the corner. So that was turn 3.
It's difficult to finish a sentence when you're commentating on an underbone race.
Because there's been 5 overtakes in the time that you're trying to do that.
And Shazras, who was about 12th 3 corners ago, is now scampering away in the lead.
Way to the next corner. Coming up the inside was the 87 machine. He's come from a fair way back as well. That's Nyril Izzat. He was nowhere as they went through the last couple of corners.
Yeah, Nyril Izzat is absolutely brilliant finisher in this series. He often just comes from nowhere, finds the corner exit speed and just catapults himself across the line.
Well, Gupta Kresna's made his way. What did he start? 13th, Barry. He's made his way up into second place there momentarily. Aboard, 23 bike.
Yeah, Gupta keeping himself there. I think his last championship was back in 2014 or 15. So, evergreen rider. New team for him this year.
Line of underbone 150s making their way around this circuit. Down into the final corner. This will be the scene of a lot of action in about 6 laps time. But back to the front, it is the pole man, Sharil Sizras, on board bike number 61. Yeah, he's been up and down like a yo-yo.
Yeah, he has. So he knows he can do it. He knows he can go from back to front. He's been pushed really hard now by 2023 champion Nazarov.
So I think they had just managed to make a very small break over the field as they made their way out of turn 2. For that group behind, it'll be like the peloton catching a couple of breakaway riders in a cycling race. They'll start to catch them up. You can see there Nazrul has a look over his shoulder and he sees that they've already caught up as they make their way into turn 3. And that group of 2 has now become a group of about 20. When you have a look at it, we've got 2 seconds covering the top 18 riders. Well, you wouldn't fit any more riders in a group of 20.
No,
that 2 seconds covering them.
That's absolutely right. And you've got Afif Amran there, the number 50, just joining that front 2. But the front 2 rapidly becomes the front 15.
That Fahmi Bassem got a bit of contact and he ran wide as they went into turn 3. He's dropped back a fraction in that group now. We'll have a look and see as they come through these next couple of corners.
Good work here from Shazras, shadowed by Nazrul.
Dimas Julia has made his way back forward again on board the 202 bike. He dropped back a fair bit into that pack. He's now moved up at about 3rd or 4th position. Very easy to pick out the fluoro yellow machine. Not a lot of screen or fairing to hide behind to try and enable your top speed to get a little bit better, but the top speeds are pretty impressive, Barry, when you consider what they are. 178 odd kilometres an hour, the fastest top speed in this one, and that was April King Mascado.
Yeah, and talking about the high-vis yellow machines, they're both up there at the front. The younger gun, Dimas Julie, and the older, wiser double champion, Waiwaji Trexana, on the other. Waiwaji, the one with the red or the pinky red helmet, just on the left of your screen there.
Yeah, you can see him pull out of the slipstream, trying to make his way forward. He's now coming up the inside. How good is he on the brakes? The answer is he's pretty good because he's made his way up into 4th or 5th position now.
Yeah, Afif Amran is having a really good race as well. You very rarely see a rider break away in this, as you can imagine, Phil. The last time I remember was about 3, maybe 4 years ago, when Afif Amran, the number 50, he did it. Somehow he just escaped and ran away.
Well, it's good to see that there's no breakaways because this is what makes this class so exciting. In fact, we were talking before about Waiwaji Trexana. Was he racing in this class back in 2018, 2019, when the Underbones came to Australia to race in the final race at the final round of the championship at the Ben Motorsport Park?
Yeah, he was.
And he was one of the front runners then.
Yeah, he last won the championship in 2019. Yeah.
So there we go, back on board with Showrell Sizras as we negotiate through the tricky infield section of this circuit.
Fauzi staying up there as well, although he often likes to lead Adichie. Shazras staying very close to the front. Oh, and going off the circuit now. Got 4 laps to go, so that won't result in a penalty.
Well, that excursion was so wide, he probably needed to take a packed lunch with him as he managed to get back into the lead, though, as they come down towards turn 1, but he was way, way, way off the circuit. May have been given a little assistance, as I think he went into the final corner. Is that another rider that's got a problem there, just pulling out wide? You can see pulling up there on the grass.
I think that's one of the Cardinals' bikes, unfortunately.
Another one putting up his hand.
Who was that? I can't quite see. I think it's one of the UMA Philippines machines.
Was that April King Moscato on board bike number 43? Would that be...
I think it could have been, yeah.
You can see obviously some problem with the bike, because these bikes are held at wide open throttle for a very large part of this race.
Yeah, it was. Good spot, Phil.
No, I haven't even got the powerful glasses on either.
You've been practicing, mate. So, back at the front there, I'll tell you what, this number 143, Husni Zainul Fauzi, he's been there or thereabouts all the way through as well. Definitely deserves a mention. There is the number 60 for Race Tech 60. It's his own team, Waiwaji Trilaksana.
We've still got 1.9 seconds covering the top 17 riders as well, with a couple of riders just a few tenths of a second off the back, all the way back to 2.5 seconds. That's Ahmad Fazrul Sham on board the 11 machine. So he's certainly, with a little bit of slipstream action, well and truly not out of making his way forward, especially with 3 laps to go. The action is about to start to intensify in 2 laps time as we head off on that final 4.5 kilometre circuit here. This is just like the entree that's being served up at the moment. So through the final corner we go. It is the 96 machine of Hafiz Farul that leads across the line. Clouds starting to come over a little bit too, Barry, as we look outside.
Yeah, it is definitely getting darker. We just saw the father of Shazras looking apprehensively through the grating on the side of the pit wall.
So it is back at the front, Sharel Sizras on board the 61 machine. He qualified on pole, he led the race early, he's dropped back into the pack, went back to the lead, now he dropped back into the pack and has come forward again with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, and Fahmi Bassam has just made up 5 or 6 places on the entry to and exit out of that last corner.
I think with both the Dimas Julia Atmoko on board 202 and also Wayu Aji Trilaksana that got a little bit wide into turn 3 as well, but they've both managed to hold position. Getting wide didn't really stop them too much. They got great. In fact, Trilaksana going for the lead.
Yep, he had a little sniff at the front there.
Wayu Aji's made a bit of a charge. Well, an experienced campaigner coming towards the front as we get into the dying stages of this race. Tricky conditions too, with the you can see the flashing lights there to warn the riders that there may be a drop or 2 of rain just starting to come over the circuit now. So Cheryl Sidras pointed to the sky and then promptly opened the throttle harder and has managed to pull out a small lead over the rest of the field.
Yeah, perhaps that was a tactic. But yeah, it's a gap back now to Waiwaji Trilaksana.
Oh, off onto the grass there. That was the 222 machine of Fahmi Bassam. He was well and truly onto the grass. Through the final corner we go, and this is it. This is the last lap now. And it is a 0.3 of a second lead for Cheryl Sizras as they start, well, as they came across the line. That has been gobbled up by the time they get to turn 1 by Fahmi Bassam on board 222 and also Husni Zainul on board the 143 bikes.
Yeah.
Looking to see if there's any visible rain. I can't see any visible rain. The track doesn't look like it's starting to get wet yet.
No, not at all. Just a drop or 2. And a very canny point upwards there by Shadras, you have to say. He is a clever lad, there's no doubt about that.
How tight was that? Back for about 5th and 6th position as well. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 15th as they went through turn 3 on that occasion.
Yeah,
look how far Fahmy Basram is underneath the windscreen there.
Yeah, yeah, he is. There's a gap between that little top fairing and the upper fairing of the bike, and they can peek through it.
You know what? The two riders behind said, thanks very much for giving us a great slipstream and challenge for the lead. Oh, how did Fahmy Basram not run into the rider in front there, as he had so much corner entry speed through that? That was through turn 4, I think, wasn't it? We go through turn 6 now. That looked like a couple of drops of rain starting to appear on the camera there. But it's going to come down to the last corner.
It is. I mean, plenty of drama coming for the last corner. Kiddes is up there in that leading group as well. The number 13 for Pittsbike Superfast JRT.
Right, here we go. This is the run down the final straight and towards the final corner where all the action is, and it is our pole sitter, Cheryl Seisras, that leads, but not by much. Oh no, he's back onto the grass again. That's Fahmy Basami. Final corner. Who was that up the inside? Oh, there's contact. A lot of them off the circuit as they nudge each other and go for the line. I think it was Husni Zainal that came across the line in first, but it is so close. And there were so many riders off the track at that last corner, Barry. Pretty hard to call.
Yeah, I think that was clean by Husni.